All right, so we've confirmed that she's a little slow. Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to Ohrmundt Simmentals. This is Chris. Well, it is another week, and honestly, well, we're past Groundhog's Day. You can say broken record, or you can say rinse and repeat. But Dad is hauling manure, and I'm just about ready to start feeding. Nobody ever said calves are smart. But you want to be on this end. You want us to be on this end down here. So for the most part, everybody is fed. The only thing I got to do yet is make sure that there is hay around for everybody. Good signs. So is our little bull calf. So he's getting up, he's moving around a little bit slow, but he's getting some food. He's eating, he's sucking. So that's a really good sign. Let's get some hay forked around. And yep, Mom's got hay over here. This one Bold Ruler heifer, I can tell she's been on, but she kind of complains. So I'm still keeping an eye on her. But it does look like she's been sucking. The calf looks like it, and Mom looks like it. So, all right, so we've confirmed that she's a little slow. Nice thing about that cow is she's pretty laid back. Probably more so because she's old. But she likes her ground feed, and I was able to get the calf on that 1/4, but she fought me the whole way. Either she's not hungry or she's a little slow upstairs. One or the other. Hey, how we doing today? So it is Tuesday afternoon, and it is awesome out here. Dad has got all but like 2 scoops left in this little pile over here that he's been working on. So he's gonna bring the spreader over here, and I'm gonna finish loading him up. So Dad's gonna haul that out. When we brought in a bunch of fill in a few years ago, came from where one of the car dealerships is on the north end of town, and it was that like a mix of that gray sand stuff. Well, we ended up finding a bunch of big rocks, and we still end up bringing them up as we clean the yard. So we try and pull them out when we see them, but sometimes it breaks a lot of shear pins. So. And little bull calf twin update. Day 3 of his new meds. He's doing pretty darn decent. Definitely can tell he's got more energy. His ears are perked up. He was actually kind of bouncing around in the pen just now, and when I left, he just jumped on for a little dinner. So he is definitely heading in the right direction. I'm attempting to pull out our old New Holland Super 717. But she's got a little bit of flat. And that air tank is back home. So while we wait for Dad, because I know Dad's coming past here, and I can fill up that air tank, and this is the last load Dad's doing for the night, and then he can come bring me down here. And then I can just take the tractor back home. So yeah, when we used to chop corn, well, honestly, when I was a kid, we had a little one-row Ford chopper. And it was a riot because Dad wouldn't, but Grandpa would let us ride in the chopper box, like where the apron is, and the stuff would blow over the top of our head. That was fun. You grab kernels or chunks of cob and you chuck them back in there and watch them fly back out. That was fun. That was good times. But Dad would never do that because it is a little dangerous, but we got this guy like probably 20 years ago. It's in solid shape. Yes, paint's faded. It's a little rusty. It does have a 2-row narrow corn head on it. Yeah, it has to sit outside because, we just don't have shed space. But, we oil and grease the heck out of it. Yeah, so we haven't used this probably in 5-6 years. It most definitely needs some new knives. This band needs to be adjusted. And like I said, we have not done anything with this in probably 5 or 6 years. So it doesn't surprise me that tire is flat as a pancake. Now, the whys of why I'm pulling it out, well, I'm going to blame some of the other guys on YouTube, some of the channels that I watch. What we definitely notice is, and it reminds us of what we used to see when we fed corn silage, was just the nice, healthy condition, thickness, just from the feed of that corn silage. And we kind of miss it. The other thing is, with the way that the weather has been, yeah, it's an oddball year. But the fear is, are we going to end up in a drought situation and your hay's not going to grow very well? But typically, what we can get to grow pretty well is corn. So we do have plans to do something with corn silage. Now the question is that going to involve the Super 717 or not? That we're not sure of yet. That's why we're pulling it out and assessing our current situation. So stay tuned. All right, so I got her over here. She held air. I probably only have like 10 pounds in there, but that's enough to get it over here. No, basically, we just want to get it over here by the shop so that we can start kind of looking at it and just give it an assessment. Is this thing worth trying to get going this year, or do we spend a little bit of money and make a little bit of an upgrade? But ultimately, I think we could probably spend an hour on this thing and actually just get it functional, and it'll go. That's really not our concern. The concern is, like, how good is it? Because we think it needs new knives. They need to be, I think they're to their furthest on adjustments. But a set of knives on this thing is going to cost us close to like $800. This was a barn find. My buddy found it and said, "Hey, if you guys are looking for a chopper," he goes, "I got one for you." He goes, "I know where one's sitting," and it was sitting up in a barn, and it's worked pretty well for us. So, but it might be time for something just a tick newer, because it will also be hard with the mechanical adjustments, because we would like to cut if we're going to chop, we're going to chop with the 44. Hey, how's it going? It is Wednesday afternoon and rinse and repeat. So Dad's taking off with his last load for the day. I think he got like 4 loads or something like that today. I did also kick Barb and her little calf, kick them out into the loafing shed area with the rest of them. She seems pretty happy, at least the calf does. Barb's kind of like, what's going on here? Little bull calf twin is doing a lot better. He actually seems pretty normal. I mean, he's still tiny. Things are looking up for that little guy. I was just about to go to bed, and we've been watching a heifer doing a little bit of work. And 313 just spit this little guy out. Not super little, but I think he was coming a little kitty wampus, but she worked for it. She's gonna be a good mom. Yeah, I like this. I like this heifer. So again, this is 313. This is Piglet's daughter. So it'll be, I think she'll be around for a little while. Hey, how's it going? It is Thursday afternoon. This week is booking along pretty good. Last time I checked, Badger basketball is kicking ass and taking names on opening day of the Big Ten tournament. So hopefully they do well. It is not the prime time to be taking a look at the bull calf from last night, but I checked him this morning. He's really spunky. So we have just discovered an issue. It seems that our fencer that we just got this past summer is not working. Nothing. Whoa. Is it one on both sides? Yeah. That didn't want to come out. That looks like garbage. Okay. All right, so I think we found our issue. I don't know why this would happen so soon. So it looks like the fuse got super corroded. This really didn't. I mean, I know our fencer during the fencing project sat outside for a little bit, but we've done the same thing with Parmac fencers that has the same similar setup and never had that. So here's the fuse and the holder. Well, this holder has 2 little tabs on it so that when you stick it in the fencer, it goes down in a groove, you twist it, and those little tabs lock. But they broke off of here. Whoa. That is probably too much fencer for this tester. I think I've shown this earlier. So I like these testers. They're just simple, stupid. But this one only goes up to like 7,000 volts. And usually it flashes red. It was flashing white. I've never seen that before on those things. So this is a setup where we have our fencer. So it's the Cyclops Super. So it's a 12 joule output. And this thing, we've had 12 joule fencers before. This is by far the most powerful one we've ever had. But this does hang out from here to the edge. That's at least like 6 inches. So unless rain is coming straight horizontal, this thing does not get wet. It would classify as drip proof, I would say. For anybody in the motor biz, electric motor biz, it would qualify as drip proof. so we're not sure why that happened. So I'll have to see if I can get any more of those little holders. All right. Scale weight. 81. 81 on the scale. 78. So that's not too bad. 80. It was 81 and 78 on the tape.
I like the shape of his head.
I'll take it. All right, so we got that bull calf taken care of. And then today too, we also gave our little twin bull calf his last shot of the recommended meds from the vet. It was really nice. She gave it to us in individual syringes, so we didn't have to do nothing. We just grab a syringe and go. But he's actually doing really, really nice. Just sub-Q injections, so they're just beneath the skin. We are BQA certified. I actually just got that re-upped last year. I went to in-person training, I don't know, it was like 5 years ago or something. And then I think it's good for, 3 years? And I tried to log on once to get recertified a couple years ago, and I couldn't, I don't know. I was impatient and didn't want to figure it out, but I did last year and just signed back up fresh. We try and do all the injections, any kind of injections, the way that they're meant to be, the way they're supposed to be. Hey, how's it going? It is Friday afternoon, and I think I might have my opportunity to grab some cows. Because Dad was hauling manure earlier, and then he took a little break to watch the Badger game, and I think we have some thirsty cows. Well, I got 3 more cows in. Well, technically 2 cows, 1 heifer. But this one right here in the middle, this is the one I wanted. But that bigger one, she's a little testier than the YC913 cow. If you can deal with her for a day, just like a day, then it's not a big deal. And that's probably the only nice thing about being in the barn is that we are kind of close quarters and they kind of know where they're going. You know, we can slip them back and forth between different little pens and isolate the calf or the cow or whatever. I mean, she's not like crazy bad. So we're bringing a bale into the back where the loafing shed is, where our older calves are. Kind of give you an idea of how this works out in person. Calves are doing really, really well. That's our first one. She's got a tint of that grayness to her, but that is exactly how our Bold Ruler was last year. And she is jet black now. As you can see, we got 2 sides. Now granted, I just shot 3 animals in here. That's probably not quite enough room. They just barely fit. Tomorrow I'll probably pull at least one of them out of there. You can see Dad pulled the shell off. They can nibble on that whenever they want, and they'll camp out there because sometimes they don't even like going in the loafing shed. And here's our little Bold Ruler bull calf out of that 53 heifer. Really liking those Bold Rulers so far. I was never a huge fan because he's a Proclamation son. I just wasn't a huge fan of Proclamation himself. Just kind of the way he was built. I mean, he's cowboy cut son, which I did like, but I just didn't like the way Proclamation was built. It'll be interesting to see what a mature picture of Bold Ruler will look like. I like his yearling picture, just the way seems like he's got a little bit more stretch on him than Proclamation does. I definitely like those Bold Ruler calves. They're coming along really nice. If you got any questions, please leave them in the comments. Hope you liked the video. Please hit that like button. And if you'd like to, share our videos anytime you guys want to. If you think I got something that's pretty nice, somebody else might find it useful, or if you just want to share to help support the channel, helps us out too. So you can hit that share button too. But please, if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button. Hope you guys have a great rest of your Friday. And thanks for coming along.